Keith Urban and Nicole Kidman have been married for 16 years, which is a lifetime in Hollywood. But before the beauty of their marriage really came out, they had to go through some beastly hurdles. The one constant thing that ensured the success of their relationship, right from the early days, was the fact that Keith Urban was determined to win Nicole Kidman over. Let's find out how he was able to do it. Moulin Rouge's Nicole Kidman is an amazing actress, with awards from the Golden Globe, Academy Awards, and the Emmys saluting her talent. The love of her life and her husband is Keith Urban, an award-winning country musician and a legend in his own right. While they're both successful in their individual careers, their pairing was still a bit of an odd surprise because of how different they seem apart. But when they're together, it's easy to see how their love grows and shines. Keith Urban and Nicole Kidman's first meeting was on the 15th of January 2005 at the annual G-Day USA Gala, a mixer of sorts for prominent and creative Australians and Americans, for two Australian natives meeting on the other side of the world, both in very successful points of their career. It was such a meet-cute scene that they met at a gala celebrating their native origin. However, the romance wouldn't develop until much later. Telling Oprah about their first meeting, Keith said, "I swear to you, she glided across the room, floated. I don't know how she did it. It was out of this world, and there was a split moment where she wasn't with anybody, and I thought, I'll just go up and say hi." He did say hi. They clicked instantly, and their connection was mutual, but they didn't think so. Their love story should have picked up at that point, but it didn't, and the reason is very relatable. He didn't reach out to her for months. More accurately, he didn't contact her for 4 months after that first time they met. Apparently, neither of them thought the other party was interested, despite their chemistry. Nicole told Ellen that, "I remember thinking, I had such a crush on him, and he wasn't interested in me. I'm like, you didn't love me at first sight. You didn't notice me." And he's like, "Yes, I did, but I just didn't let on." And then about 4 months later, he called me. Keith Urban was definitely interested, and he soon began to show his determination to pursue a relationship with her. A few months after they started dating, Keith decided to surprise Nicole with a gesture that was so enduring that it assured her that he was the one. On her 38th birthday in June 2006, Keith showed up to Nicole's apartment in New York at 5 in the morning. He was standing on her stoop, holding gardenias, and she knew he was the one. Nicole told People that in that moment, "That is when I went, this is the man I hope I get to marry." It was pretty intense. I believed by that point he was the love of my life. Maybe that's because I am deeply romantic, or I'm an actress, or I have a strong faith as well. But I just believed, oh, okay, here he is. She recalled to Jimmy Fallon, "He sat on the stoop of my New York apartment. I came out. It was 5 a.m. in the morning, and it was my birthday. And he had flowers, and that was it. I was a goner. I'm like, yes, I'll marry you." It was an epic love story, and it's super easy to see how Keith was able to sweep Nicole off her feet. By June 2006, Keith Urban was married to Nicole Kidman, but their challenges were not so far away. Barely 4 months after their romantic wedding, Nicole and Keith faced a challenge that would have broken some couples apart. Keith Urban has been open about his struggles with addiction, but back then he was still going through the gut-wrenching cycle of rehab, recovery, and relapse. In October 2006, Nicole Kidman had to stage an intervention for her husband. Keith Urban had to spend 3 months at an inpatient rehabilitation facility for addiction. Their marriage was still at a very sensitive point. They were in the honeymoon stage, so to speak. But it was a challenge that they had to navigate, and it would turn out to be something that could make or break their marriage. In 2016, 10 years later, Keith Urban spoke to Rolling Stone about that sensitive time in his marriage with Nicole Kidman. "I caused the implosion of my fresh marriage." Addiction is a problem that most families in the celebrity spotlight have to deal with, and for the new couple, it was the ultimate test. Keith was committed to his recovery, and the main reason was because of Nicole. Continuing in his interview with Rolling Stone, he added, "It survived, and it's a miracle it did. For the first time in my life, I could shake off the shackles of addiction. Several songs and a lifetime together later, Nicole and Keith now have 2 daughters, Sunday Rose Kidman Urban, who was born in July 2008, and Faith Margaret Kidman Urban, born in December 2010. The couple dote on their children, but Nicole has explained that her infertility struggles are the only thing that stopped her from having more children with her husband. As she told Vogue, "I wish I could have met Keith much earlier and had way more children with him, but I didn't. I mean, if I could have had 2 more children with him, that would have been just glorious." But Nicole and Keith have everything to be thankful for. Through addiction, grief, and their struggles, the couple has maintained a pure core supported by the love they have for each other. In 2014, after the death of her father, Nicole told Ellen how much of a support Keith had been to her. "He has been so good to me for 9 years, but for the last sort of month, which has been a really tough time for me. When you have your partner who just literally carries you through a tough time, he's been amazing to me. To have my husband to step up in that way, it makes me cry. He's amazing. I will keep him. I'll do anything for that man." Nicole Kidman and Keith Urban defeated the odds and chose their love first. They worked through their challenges and came out stronger. That's the ultimate goal. Do you think there's a deeper connection between Keith and Nicole because of their shared origin? How do you think they manage consistency in emotions despite all these years? Let us know in the comments down below. If you enjoyed this story, feel free to like this video and subscribe to The Chronicle for more inside stories on your favorite celebrities.